Hey, what it do? It's your girl Kristen Brooks, a.k.a. Big Sis Chris, a.k.a. Chrissy Y.S.F. And you know the Y.S.F stands for yeah, she funny. But ain't nothing funny about what I'm about to tell y'all. Let me tell you, your girl going through real life situations here. So sit back, relax, get your little drink, get your little snack. Let me tell you about this family drama I got going on. All right? So this is how it started. So back in 2018, my homegirl Tiara, out the blue, all of a sudden, gone. Okay? Just gone. I talked to her 2 weeks beforehand. She's happy. Life's moving forward. Great things about to happen for her. And then I get a call from her cousin Mika. She's gone. And I didn't know what to do. So, like, I heard it, and all of a sudden, I just broke down. Like I cried, I wailed. You know those African wails, like, and you know in the continent when they talk about like the wail and cry, like I wailed, like something deep in my soul broke, and all of a sudden, all the exhaustion, all the tiredness, all the frustration, it just came out, and I just dropped to my knees and I cried harder than I ever cried before, and in that very moment, I felt like, wow. I think I'd rather be dead. Like, seriously. And this is how, and usually, feeling like you should be dead in the first place is crazy. But for me, it was extra crazy. Why? One, I had an 18-month-old son. An 18-month-old son that I prayed for after doctors told me I couldn't have kids. Okay? So, but I had him. You know what I mean? What they say? Only God. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you what God. I had a son anyway. And still, I had broken down so much from her passing that I believed dying was better for my child. That me not being here to raise him made more sense in that moment. But a part of me knew clearly I was just grieved. I was hurting. So I made one final attempt to save myself. I reached out to my sister. I sent her a text, my best friend, my biggest enemy. Like, we go back and forth, but that's my first heart. You know what I'm saying? Always got a piece of my soul. And I text her, and I just so happened to have this leftover bottle of prescription pills. And I was like, I'm going to just take all these painkillers. And I sent her the picture, and I said, these painkillers look real good right now. And she freaked out. She freaked out. She was like, bitch, what you talking about? Nobody said no shit like that. Fuck wrong with you? Nobody with you. What's going on? Where you at? You at home? I'm on the way. I'm coming right now. Like, she was just freaking out. She was trying to get off of work so she could get to me. Like, it was no joke. Like, there was no hesitation in my sister. Like, shout out to my sister. Because when I say her instincts in that moment was absolutely like, no, this is for real. This is serious. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody out there got a text message or something and they didn't take it seriously. And you like, damn, I should have responded. And I thank God for my sister because she absolutely came through. You know what I'm saying? And so she calls, she can't get off of work. Her supervisor won't let her leave. Her supervisor's like, I don't give a fuck what your sister going through. Your ass can't leave. So she calls my aunt, our godmother, my Aunt Penny. My Aunt Penny picks up the phone. Hey, what's going on? Kristen's about to, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared. Call Kristen. My aunt calls me. I pick up the phone. These pills looking better and fucking better. The whole time, after I texted my sister, I never put the pill bottle down. It was sitting in my hand the whole time. I was shaking it. I was looking at it. And I went and I got me something to drink. And I was like, fuck this. And I was going to open the pill bottle when my aunt called me. And mind you, now I could have been like, man, fuck that phone call. You know what I'm saying? I could have been like, I ain't about to do this shit. But I know a part of me wanted to live. You know what I'm saying? Because I answered the phone when it was so easy not to. But I answered the phone. And one, she let the motherfucker ring. Okay? She wasn't not going to pick up. So I picked up the phone. And she's like, Kristen, whatever you think about doing, I just need you to wait. I just need you to wait. I just need you to listen to me. Whatever you're thinking about doing, just give me 5 minutes. She said, I need you to talk to somebody. I just need you to hear her. I'm like, all right, whatever. whatever. She's like, okay, I'm gonna have her call you right now. Don't do nothing, okay? I'm gonna have her call you right now. She hang up the phone, and I mean, when I say how God work, how he be divine with stuff, when I say as soon as my aunt hung up the phone, that lady call came through. Okay. Like they was you would have thought they switched off. They was sitting in the same room. I'm gonna hang up, you call right foul, right there at the same time. Cause I really feel like had there been any break, any second for me to change my mind, I would have took it. And she was on the phone immediately. And she was like, listen, how are you? I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, the Mary J. Blige song. She was like, I'm fine, fine. Girl, bye. That, now I see it in a whole new light. Because she was upbeat when she said fine, but now I know that fine wasn't a real fine. Because that's how I was talking in that moment. I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. She was like, okay. So now that you've told me you're fine. Like, how are you really feeling? And I was like, and I told her, I was honest. And I was just waiting for her to judge me. I was waiting for her to tell me some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Some shenanery. You know what I mean? Go just pray to the Lord. I was just waiting for the classic fucking shenanery to be told to me. And she was like, I want you to come and spend a weekend with me and some friends of mine. And I'm like, here we go. Like, in my mind, I'm like, fuck this shit. But I go. So, who is this woman who gets me to come to this weekend with other women? Her name is Leicester Williams. Niajla Leicester Williams. God rest her soul. We lost her in 2022 to pancreatic cancer. She saved my life, okay? Her organization still runs and operates today. It's called the Healing Wheel, and it is a healing retreat specifically for Black women. I went to that retreat that weekend, and I'm gonna be real with you. You know how, like, in Christianity, I grew up Methodist, so all that ghost and gob, all that voodoo rituals, chants, and shit, that was all witchcraft to us. You know what I'm saying? They was like, oh, that's witchcraft. She used therapy before we even got to therapy. She tapped into me spiritually. And I feel like on that phone call, she knew it wasn't just a mental thing. We had to go deeper. And so my first real meeting her and interaction with her was at this retreat. When I got there, I couldn't even look nobody in the eye. I saw all these confident, beautiful Black women, and I was so insecure and shut down. And I was like, I should be dead. You know what I mean? Why? Long story short, I open up, I talk, and they end up doing a ritual. Ain't nothing get all crazy. We ain't sacrificing no goats and no chickens. Ain't no blood get spilled. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? But if you know anything about the Yoruba faith and traditions from Africa, a little vodka was spit out, some things was said, but ultimately it brought a peace and an opening in my soul, my spirit that I never thought I experienced before. And in that moment, I got a message, I believe, from God, where he told me my purpose and my next goal in life, my purpose in that moment was to heal my family. And so the only family I know is my mama's side of the family, and them motherfuckers is wrecked. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. Like, if I gotta heal some goddamn body, it got to be them motherfuckers. Okay. So I was like, okay, bet. That's how we start the process. Got it, God. I'm on it. Okay. When I got that message, it felt very easy. It felt like I was supposed to be doing it. Like, it felt like, oh, duh. Like, I should have already known. Because, but what it was that, you know how they say, you know what I'm saying? Like, God has his own plan, and you could try to understand it, but you might not. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in that moment, what I thought God's plan wasn't his plan. Like, I knew he wanted me to heal my family. I was just wrong about the family he wanted me to heal. You know what I'm saying? So, once, oh, wait, I think I might have lost train of thought. Hold on. Okay. So once I wait, right, because I'm like, I don't want to lose my train of thought in this process. Sorry, purpose. So who was this woman that got me to come to this all-female weekend retreat with her and her sister friends. Her name was Niagela Leicester Williams. This woman is a godsend, and she genuinely, sincerely, she saved my life. And so that weekend, it was like nothing I had ever experienced before spiritually. I grew up in a Christian church. And that weekend, I tapped into things that they told me were witchcraft and, things that I shouldn't deal with and should be ashamed of. But it felt so good. It felt so right. And it healed me and opened my spirit up in a way that my Methodist upbringing had not. So, Christianity, they teach us, that pretty much whatever religions we had in Africa was some witchcraft shit. You know what I mean? But in the reality, it didn't feel like that. It felt right. It felt like me. It felt like something I was missing. And so I'm absolutely grateful, for her and what she did for me that weekend, because a ritual was done, and no, we didn't cut no throats. We didn't kill no chickens. Ain't nobody murdered nobody, nothing like that. It was very, honestly, I felt it to be no more crazy or wild than any Christian rituals, which there are. Eating the body and blood of Christ. Just gonna throw that out there. That's a ritual, okay? But you know what I'm saying? I felt like it was nothing more extreme than that. And so during that ritual, I truly believe I heard God. And he said that it was my part of my healing process was to help my family, to help heal them. And that made so much sense to me. It seemed right. I was just wrong about the family I was supposed to be healing and bringing together. The only family I knew was, I know my mom and my dad's family, but like my mom's family, I was like, okay, I think I'm supposed to heal them. They seem like the ones with the most problems. And so that's where I just figured God was sending me. But that's what I get for thinking I know God plan. Don't be trying to assume you know what he doing. Just have faith and go with the flow. And that's something that I absolutely learned on this journey, is to have faith and go with the flow, and don't try to figure out what the plan is. Just be prepared for whatever comes to you, because you'll be surprised, good or bad. And that's what happened. And so, whew, that's already a lot, ain't it, y'all? Okay. So now I move on to the next phase in my life. The healing process continues. So I leave the healing retreat and I go into this new world where I feel open and I'm ready to say yes. I'm ready to say yes to me, to anybody, to whatever, whenever, whatever. Because one thing I learned during this healing retreat and during that process was that I was always telling myself no. No, I couldn't do this. No, I couldn't do that. I wasn't smart enough to do this. I wasn't capable of doing that. And I realized the no's I was saying, it came from the no's I got growing up. I was just always no, 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 no. Be quiet. Sit down. Don't do this. Don't do that. Always told to be quiet. I was a talker. Them kids that get in trouble, they always put in it talks a lot at school and stuff like that. Can't be surprised I turned into a comedian later in life, right? So, but that's what I was. But when I was a kid, it was always be quiet, be small. And so I was living that life, which led to the breakdown. It led to the breakdown. And so when I went to that healing retreat, it was like that baggage, that cloak had been taken off of me. Like I no longer felt obligated to be small, to tell myself no. So I was doing everything. Anything I wanted to try, I was going to try. I was getting on boats. I was going to try. I was going into woods. I was hiking. I got the guitar. Shout out to my husband. I love him. I told him everything I ever wanted to do as a kid, and he made it possible. You know what I mean? And I tried it. He's mad I wasted his money on that goddamn guitar. I barely made it through a lesson. I was like, this shit is hard. This is just going to be a dream. Like, I just could not figure it out. I was good. And then I did something that I literally remember always telling myself, no, I can't do this. I'm just, only with friends. I decided to try comedy. I wrote my first set And I went to an open mic that by chance somebody told me about like 5 years before, but I disregarded. Always been told you are hilarious. You should be a comic. You should be a comic. No, I'm just with my friends. You know what I'm saying? I ain't funny. That's what I thought. That's how I felt. So I write a set. I call one of my best friends. I tell her the set. She was like, "No, I don't think that's funny." I was like, "Damn." I was hurt. I was like, but something in me was like, do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that I didn't love and respect my friend's opinion, because I knew she wasn't trying to hurt me. She was just trying to do what she thought keep me from embarrassing myself. But in that moment, my healing journey was teaching me to trust me, trust my heart, not what everybody else was telling me, which is what led me to where I broke down in the first place. So I did it anyway. And I crushed. Oh my God. So I go to the Idiot Box Comedy Club, Greensboro, North Carolina. I go up on stage. I got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I asked these drunk white girls who happen to be sitting next to me, can you record this for me? They recorded it mostly upright, halfway upside down. The point is, I do the 3 minutes and I kill. I destroy. I go up there with my little folded paper, ready to look at it. I don't look at it once. I come off stage. Seasoned comics who are there like, oh my God, you're hilarious. How long have you been doing comedy? I'm like, this is my first time. No fucking ways. This is your first time doing comedy. Yes, it is. I was the most self-conscious little girl growing up. Too dark. You know what I'm saying? Fat, bald-headed. This everything. My cousins, oh, that's Celie from The Color Purple. I Nothing about me felt pretty or smart or confident. I was depressed at the age of 13. So here I am in front of a crowd full of strangers telling them some shit I just came up with, wrote down on a motherfucking paper. And they laughed. They loved it. I was like, oh my God, this shit is crazy. People are telling me, I've been doing comedy for 15 years, 20 years. I've done this, I've done that. You're amazing. You have a natural talent. How do you, ever since then, I've been ripping and running with comedy. And I've had the opportunity, because I continue to say yes to myself, I've had the opportunity to be on stages with people like DC Young Fly, Little Rel, Orlando Jones, Michael Collier. I mean, I'm about to perform but while this video is being recorded, I'm planning on performing with Lonnie Love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have had some amazing opportunities because I started to say yes. And I'm proud of myself for doing so. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. The laughter, the high you get when you come off stage and everybody's, oh my God, you've been doing this forever. Oh, I peed on myself. Oh, to a comic, that's gold. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I needed more, and I didn't understand what I needed more. And then I realized I was told you need to be healing your family. And I had got lost in finding my purpose. I was still trying to find, okay, what was going to make me happy? What did it for me without me having to try? And I realized when God allowed me to enjoy that moment in comedy. And when I realized just, okay, this is okay. Oh my God, I can't believe I can do this. This is so crazy. Like, and so, oh shit, I said the story wrong. I'm so confused. So this is what I did. I'm saying this story, right? Because this is the first time I'm telling it to people, right? So I'm like, okay, no, this is how I remember it. And I did the comedy afterwards. And I'm not giving credit where credit is due. Because I was thinking about doing comedy. And I did do comedy. I did the open mic. I did well. But I didn't think I could do it really. I didn't think I could do it full time. And that's when I realized it wasn't enough. So I have to apologize, because I was in my mind, I'm going to this place where I'm like, I'm skipping, but I was about to miss out on giving credit to where credit is absolutely due. And it's to what I found out. So The little bit of success I was having was fine. I was good. I started comedy right before COVID. World shuts down March 2020. I started comedy September, right? 2019. Um, During this time period, people are losing loved ones left and right. I decide I need to find that family I was told I was supposed to heal. Because I can't do comedy right now. I damn sure wasn't going to do no virtual comedy. I had just started. I was like, I can't do virtual comedy. I need to interact with the crowd. So my focus goes back to finding the family and healing my family. But I don't know how. Remember, I think I'm supposed to be healing my mama's family. So I'm like, okay, I go and I say, you know what? I think to heal my family, I need to tap into my African roots. Don't we do that, black people? When we get the healing, we get on that journey. We're like, okay, we're going to tap into the ancestry. We're going to go to the roots. So, you know what I'm saying? I was ready to go back to Africa on them. You know what I'm saying? I was ready. I was there. I was ready to be on it, okay? And so I do ancestry, right? My mother-in-law, I tell her, I'm looking into my roots. And so she buys me the little Ancestry DNA kit. Shout out to Ancestry. If y'all not fake, we'll see. But shout out to Ancestry. Y'all seem kind of real for the most part. So she buys me the kit. I do the kit. I send it in. Ancestry comes back. Y'all. When I say Ancestry came back and changed the nigga life, Ancestry came back and told me, my daddy and my daddy. Did you hear me? Ancestry was like, girl, that's not your Paul, okay? That's not your daddy. That's what Ancestry told me. And you know what was so crazy, right? When Ancestry had said it, they showed me the last name of the people related to me. And in my mind, it was like a movie. I instantly went back to this memory of my mama cursing my aunt out for saying I look like this dude named L.A. His real name, Philip Talley. And so I'm like, what? This is crazy. I'm like, Ancestry a joke. It's messed up. So I call my mama. Because who the fuck else I'm gonna call if Ancestry said my daddy ain't my damn daddy, right? Because I'm a Graves. My birth certificate was changed when I was 2 years old to say I was a Graves. That's his last name. So I'm like, Mom, what's up? I did Ancestry and it said daddy ain't daddy. It gave me the last name Tally. What's up? When I tell you this bitch was mad at me, this bitch was mad at me. Oh, you doing too much. The fuck you, man? I'm doing too much? Bitch, I wasn't looking for a new father. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking for a new father. I was looking for some African ancestry. I was trying to see where I needed to go in Africa. I was trying to book a flight, make sure when I touched down, I was on homeland territory. I was trying to get the instant. I was trying to be on some Mufasa Simba shit. Okay, I was trying to be reborn in the motherland. Now I'm doing too much. Because you was a hoe back in the day. Because you told lies. I was 31 years old when I found out my father wasn't my father. Okay? I was 31 years old when my mother decided that I had done too much by accidentally finding out my father ain't my damn father. Bet. So, I need time away. I'm like, nah, Ma, I can't. I can't talk to you right now. Just give me a couple of weeks. Let me process this. Give me a couple of weeks. What my mama do? Okay, she gave me a couple of weeks. I hit my mama up. I'm like, all right, let's talk. I'm ready to talk. Let me know what happened. You know what I'm saying? What went down? Why y'all kept this from me? This bitch. And yeah, that's your mama. Yeah, I said this bitch. Because that's what she was being in the fucking moment. And if you've been through this shit, you know exactly what I mean, because I don't know what the fuck they was doing in the 80s, but I ain't the only person who found out their daddy ain't their daddy on Ancestry, okay? I know quite a few people 2 to 3 years younger than older than me who'd have found out their daddy ain't their damn daddy on fucking Ancestry. And everybody mama did the same shit. Oh, you doing too much. You making a big deal out of shit. Fuck y'all. Let me calm down, because I'm about to. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm ready to talk, Ma. I don't feel like talking now. I need time. The pettiness. If you got a narcissistic petty ass mama, you know just how much, like, I can't even have my own trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like, she got to be part of my trauma, bitch. You did this to me. Now you the problem. Now you hurt. I can't even be hurt by myself in this situation. A nigga. I'm sorry, y'all. Just a nigga. Like, if you got a mama like that, you know what I'm going through. You know how they gaslight you. That was the last time me and my mother spoke about it. I just turned 38. It's been 7 years. 7 fucking years since we after my mom said, "Oh, I need time," we never spoke about it again. Never. Even though we didn't, I've continued to do what I need to do. Cause your girl was open-hearted, ready to go and move. So what I do, I look for my family. She don't want to talk about it. That's fine. You ain't got to talk about it. I'll look into it. By the way, it turns out my dad was my uncle's best friend. He didn't even know that was my dad. So I reach out to all the adults that knew the real story but didn't tell me. Cause now everybody want to be honest with a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we just want to. But anyway, it's the least they could do, right? Because they all knew the lie. So find out I got a grandma. Find out she was the neighborhood grandma. They called her Grandma Tally. You know, they called her Mama Tally. You know what I'm saying? She was the neighborhood grandma. Everybody loved her. She'll feed you, help you. You know what I'm saying? Do right by you. Just send your ass back out there in the street. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Found out I had 2 sisters. 2 more. Right? 2 younger sisters. Still the oldest. Brittany, Tyler. Then found out I had 2 uncles. Both bunch of cousins and shit. My father got brothers. Katie, Vernon. Okay? So, I go up to Jersey and I meet them. And I don't even get upstairs to the apartment building before my uncle comes out the door. And he's like, "Kristen? Oh, girl, I know it's you. You look just like your daddy." Man, I don't know if you know what it's like to walk into a space where you don't look like anybody, but you're told everybody in your family. And so you reason with yourself, I just look like my mama. I just, you know what I'm saying? I look like this auntie from over here, this, and that. The moment I met this man, the moment I met my grandmother, when I tell you, it was the most amazing and beautiful experience of my fucking life. Like, I saw her coming from the back room and she looked up at me and she said, "Oh yeah." She was like, "Look at you. You big and beautiful, just like all them Tally women." Oh my God. I was like, oh God, grandma. I was hurt, y'all. I was done. I was done. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It was everything I fucking needed. It was everything. It was like I was home, like I was accepted. I walked into a room and I looked like everybody in the fucking room. Oh, yo, if you know, you know. Everybody's not going to get that. Everybody's not going to get that. And you're blessed if you don't know that experience, to know what it's like to walk into a room full of people and not look like anybody, but say, "Okay, well, it's family." You know what I mean? So it was an amazing experience for me. And from there, I just built relationships. I continue to reach out, talk, connect. I didn't have the opportunity to meet my sisters in person at that moment. Um, Unfortunately, the first time I got to meet Brittany and Tyler in person was at my grandmother's funeral. That's when the Tally girls came together for the first time. My grandmother passed in 2022, December. Um, she was already kind of sick, and I only got like 2 years with her, you know? I only got like 2 years with her um, before she was gone. And when I say I'm so glad I said yes to all the stuff I was doing, because she could be gone. You know, like she was like God, when God gonna take you, he gonna take you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But I was just very grateful that I was able to get those 2 years with her. And that from the moment I met her, she loved on me and embraced me. And when you feel, abandoned, neglected, when you feel like don't nobody love you, and then you meet people who love you, it's crazy. And so it was amazing. So shout out to my grandma, God rest her soul, Miss Carolyn Joanne Talley. I love you and I appreciate you. You open your arms to me when you didn't have to. And my sisters, we've continued to bond and talk and video chat and all that good stuff. And I love them. And I've realized the family I was supposed to bring together and heal was that family. It turns out Brittany and Tyler did not have a relationship with each other, even though they knew each other. So me coming into the picture, I actually created some form of a relationship between them. And as our relationship has grown over the years, our bond has, and I have become, like to so many other people, you know, the go-to sister. You know what I mean? I'm big sis. I'm the oldest of now 11 children, because even though I found out Mr. Graves ain't my father no more, that's what I call him. We ain't gonna go into what happened with that. But even though I found out Mr. Graves isn't my father no more, the siblings I grew up with still are my siblings. They don't stop being my siblings because of this new information. Like I said, I was 31 when I found all this out. We locked in. You understand what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But now I had two new sisters. And whew, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I'm happy and I'm thankful. And I thought, okay, we're good. Oh, what I didn't say, because I know you're like, what happened to Philip? What happened to Philip? I didn't get to meet Philip. I wanted to meet Philip. I was praying to meet Philip. And I found out that I lost Philip. So Philip Talley, my biological father, he died in 1994. April of 1994. I was 6, going on 7. At that time, I only knew one daddy. That was life. And the one thing my mom was willing to tell me after it all came out was that I got to meet Philip twice when I was little, but I don't remember. She said when I was a baby, she brought me to meet him. And I was crying and upset. She couldn't get me to calm down. And she handed me to him and he put me on his chest. And I just was about to say. So I got to be a daddy's girl for like 5 minutes. And then she said again when I was like 4, 5 years old, we were walking down the street and they ran into each other. And he tried to speak to me and I was shy and I was high behind my mom's leg and I didn't want to talk to him. And I'm like, damn. like, like you ever wish you could remember something? You ever wish you could pull back a memory? And I feel like maybe I was, maybe even younger than, maybe I was 3 or 4. I just really wish I could remember that day and seeing him in person. Um, and I wish, even though I didn't know who he was at the time, I wish I hadn't been scared. And I wish I had hugged him anyway. And, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? So, while up in Jersey, meeting my grandmother and my aunts and uncles, my uncle found the only surviving tape they have of my father performing. So I get to hear his voice, right? I get to hear his voice. They told me the stories about him. Um, and so they put it on it's a tape. It's a tape disc. Some of y'all, depending on how old you are watching this, you may or may not know, but it was a tape. It was a cassette tape. And they played it. And apparently he did all types of rap style. So his name was Philip Talley, but his rap name was L.A., the lyrical assassin. That's how he got it, because it's just tight with the words. And I got to hear his voice. Like, I dead ass got to hear his voice. To find out your dad isn't your dad, to especially when you had such a bad relationship with that dad in the first place, so it's like, oh my god, I have a different dad and maybe he'll love me, right? And then that dad's dead. He's been gone for a long time. And so I had resolved myself with just being happy to meet, the family that was there. And when they played that tape and I listened to him, and I listened, like I never thought I would hear his voice. I thought all I would have is pictures. And I needed to hear his voice so much more than I had admitted to myself. And I hate crying for people. It changed me. Like, it changed me. Like, I heard him and something just changed. And I went home after that trip and I prayed. I prayed so hard. And I swear I heard him tell me, you were meant to do this. Because at the time, I had people telling me, like, you should really do comedy. You should really look into it more. And I was like, no, I just tried it. And I just happened to be good. But then, like, after that trip, something changed. And it was like I had a dream one night. I swear I had a dream one night. And he came to me, he was like, you're meant for this. Like, you're supposed to be on stage. So you're my daughter. You can do this. And I never felt so confident about fucking life. I never felt so confident about anything in my entire fucking life. And then I just did it. COVID was over, and I did it. And I just went out there and I just got on the stage. And before I do it, even to this day, before I hit the stage, I always say a prayer. And I always say, please let my dad, Philip Telly, let him walk out on stage with me. Let him be with me. And I swear, every time I do, every time I get on stage, people say, you turn into a different person. Like, you're not the same person when you're on stage. You're a different person when the mic hits your hand. And they say, how do you do it? How do you always go out there and kill? Like, how you out there, it's so natural how you do this. And dead ass, like, I'm out here living dreams I never thought I would have with talent from a man I never got to meet. And this shit is so wild. And I never said it like this. I never said it like this. And it's, ooh. Oh God. Ooh, y'all, my life changed. The stuff I've gotten to do is so crazy. Oh my God, the stuff I gotta do is so crazy. Oh God. Oh, oh, I gotta take a break. Okay, I had to put myself back together. Oh, I got emotional. I had to break down for a quick. Okay, so here I was thinking here I was thinking like Philip couldn't give me anything more than what he's already given me, right? This amazing talent that allows me to bring laughter and joy to people. It's a blessing. And then I get an email. Ancestry was still ancestoring, okay? And all of a sudden, I have a new relative, and her name is Linda Jones. My mom's maiden name is Jones, so instinctually I'm like, oh, okay, she's a cousin on my mom's side of the family, some type of relative there. I spent about 2 years talking to Linda over messages, just getting to know each other. We're both still trying to figure out the connection. She didn't know her father. Her situation was kind of like mine's, where she grew up thinking her dad was someone else, and then she did ancestry looking for answers. Her mom also was upset with her for finding out her dad wasn't her dad and wanting answers. And so it led her to me. And for about 2 years, we just were not sure how we were related, because we figured out it wasn't on my mom's side, but I couldn't figure out how she was related on my new dad's side, Philip. And then Ancestry updated their systems. You know, they send out that little thing, oh, we've upgraded our testing. And all of a sudden, it went, so, you know, they did the whole, oh, we can tell if they're from your mom or dad's side. So that's what the update was, right? So then I find out she's a half aunt on my dad's side. And then it started to make sense. She had told me how her father was in the military. Her mom wasn't with him. She did it like he had made it clear he wasn't going to be around. My grandmother, I had found out from her that she left my grandfather. He was in the military. She left him when my dad was 3, and he never came after them, and she never looked back. And so when I saw she was my half aunt, I was like, oh, wow. And then I saw you can clearly see we're related. Um, and if you don't, there's a picture. And so it turns out she is my dad's half sister. So, the healing of the family did not stop with me finding my grandma and uncles, my sisters, me finding this bond and connection with my deceased father through our gift of gab and the microphone, being on stage. He also brought me an aunt who was looking for answers, who was also looking for love, who was also looking for understanding. Um, and it was dope. And so last year, when they upgraded their systems and I figured out she was my half aunt, I reached out and I told her. I talked to some other cousins who were closer to my grandma, and I was able to bless my aunt and send her a picture of her actual dad, which she didn't have. And so she was very happy and excited to see that. And we decided to meet for the first time. Nothing sad involved, no funerals or anything of that nature. She actually came to town. She lives in Alabama. And so she came to town to visit family up in like the Raleigh area. And so I'm about a half an hour and a half away. And she came down for my birthday weekend. And so I got to spend my 38th birthday, well, the day before, I got to spend my 30th birthday celebrating with my dad's sister. I got to celebrate with my dad's sister. And that's so crazy because it's just I love it on so many levels because even the dad I grew up with, he only had brothers. So I only ever had aunts when it came to my dad. I have aunts on my mom's side, and I love my aunts, but your mama's side of the family different than your daddy's side. You know what I'm saying? So I got to spend it, and y'all, she was not phased. Listen, I ain't even gonna lie. I went to nice little girl spot. We had mimosas brunch. I turned up a lot of mimosas going. Okay, I was acting up. I was throwing ass in a circle. I was cursing out the DJ because he was acting up. Not cursing, but you know what I'm saying. I told that nigga get a calendar and a sandwich because he was talking about Pisces season. What? Cancer? Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so all this time I'm acting up. I'm embracing myself. My aunt, this new aunt, she sitting there, nothing, not phased in the slightest by any of my behavior. And I'm listening to, she came with our cousin, and I'm listening to our cousin tell her, that is your niece. Like, that's definitely your niece. Like, y'all definitely, like, we're sitting there and it's like the nose, the eyes, the mouth, the personality. And it was awesome. And it was a connection that we have decided to continue to expand on and continue to grow with. Um, I didn't have that connection with my uncles because I know some of y'all thinking, why you ain't say all that about your uncles? I ain't gonna lie, my father's brothers are drug addicts. One, I lost one of my uncles a month after my grandmother passed to a drug overdose, and my other uncle, his daughter tried to save him from the streets. And if you know what it's like when addiction runs in your family, he went back to the streets. She couldn't save him. She couldn't keep her dad from going back, and so I didn't have that connection with them. And in sitting down with her and seeing the resemblance and the personality, it was a great time. And I'm pretty sure she humped somebody's son. You know what I'm saying? Like while we was there, like that sound like my aunt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that sound like the kind of aunt I'm gonna be in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm married. You know what I'm saying? I gonna cheat. But if I'm out dancing, you know what I mean? Somebody's son. Okay, anyway, I'm getting a little distracted. But we had a beautiful, wonderful moment. And I'm like so excited to see her again. She invited me to her home and I invited her to mine. And so yeah. And so like that's where our story ends right now. Um and this is honestly just like the tip of the iceberg. There's so many things I could tell you and so many things you won't know. But yeah, this is where I'm at. And so I know people are like, why you decide to tell people or what's the point? I decided to tell people the story because I'm hoping that me deciding to find that family, me deciding to heal myself and all the things that transpired, the domino effect it had, I'm praying and hoping that multiple people watch this and it resonates and they decide to do that. If you're looking for your family, if you're deciding, should I reach out? Should I find, even if they're not who you want them to be, sometimes knowing they're not who you want them to be is just as helpful. Because the reality is we can put people on a pedestal. You feel so down about who you have in your life, you think the grass is greener on the other side. And it's not. So sometimes finding out the truth can be helpful. It's always helpful to find out the truth. So thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for checking me out. If you like what you heard, if you like this series that I put together, if you like to get more information, more info, real talk, comment below. All positive energy. If this ain't your vibe, it's not your vibe, but don't come down on my post with no bullshit, okay? Because don't let these tears from a few minutes ago fool you. I don't take no disrespect, and this is my own personal journey. You don't have to be a part of it. But if you loved it, if it touched you, if you cried tears with me, if you laughed a little bit with me, if you felt where I was coming from, thank you. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Peace. Whew, anybody that's actually going through this situation, I'm gonna be honest, keep your heart open. Don't make any assumptions. The one thing I cleared myself of doing and when I prayed on it was that, and now say this, let me tell you in order. Pray. I don't care who you pray to, please pray on it first. And really listen, okay? Because the prayer lets you know if you should move forward or not. And for me, it did. And so I just keep your heart open and don't make any assumptions. You don't know who you'll meet. You don't know how it'll go. You don't know what you'll learn. But I promise it will help you grow. Ooh. If I could go back, I think the only thing I would change is how much time I spent with my grandmother. I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of people, I thought I had more time with her. And just because God brings somebody into your life you never met, it don't mean you got a long time with them. So I'd say appreciate the time you have with each one of them because again, like I said, I lost my uncle a month after my grandmother passed. So just that quickly, I lost two people in this new family that I had just found. So yeah, call, go visit, check in. It's important. Going forward, I'm really hoping to build a connection with my aunt. I'm hoping that I can get to introduce her to my sisters. Um, my dad had a different dad than his brothers. So those are her nieces. But yeah, I'm hoping that eventually we'll all be together and get to see them. I haven't actually been in the same room as my sisters since my grandmother's funeral. So I haven't seen my sisters in person in 3 years. So hopefully we'll all be together soon. Mm, I don't. Um, when I met my sisters and I saw how torn apart they were from each other, it was it was like a light bulb went off. You know what I mean? It was like it made sense. All of a sudden it clicked. This is the family, and it wasn't. And here again, me go thinking, oh, I know the story. I know how it's supposed to go. It wasn't an entire family. It was my immediate family. It was the very sisters that I had who didn't even talk to each other. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like there's any more family for me to heal. Not now. Whew, Lord Jesus. So, me and my mom have had a very tumultuous relationship since it came out. Things weren't perfect beforehand because my mom is a Leo, which means she's part narcissist. Yeah, whatever Leos, come for me if you want to. But yeah, we have a strange relationship. Off and on, I've attempted to maintain a relationship with her, but how do you keep a relationship with somebody who never admits to anything really, who always scapegoats? So, no. Short answer, me and my mom aren't currently talking. we've made attempts, but it doesn't last very long. No. Honestly, I'm like so old school. I want to have like a cookout. Like I did as like my son, my husband, my auntie, her daughter, my sisters, their kids. Like, yeah, I just want us all to come to like a big family reunion, big cookout, and just have those classic black family moments. You know what I'm saying? We got the old school jams in the back. Somebody uncle got on thick socks and sandals on the grill with a towel sweating all over the meat. You know what I mean? Like that's all I want. Just a classic, beautiful black family moment. That's it. That's what I'm looking forward to.